Routine, adjective, used to describe an individual whose spirit is unyielding, unconstrained, one who navigates life on their own terms, effortlessly. They do not always show up on time, but when they arrive, you notice an individual confident in their contradictions. They know the rules but behave as if they do not exist. Routine, the new fragrance by Miu Miu, defined by you.
Finished training for the day? Time to fight post-workout fatigue with Core Power Protein Shakes. They're packed with 26 grams of high-quality protein to build muscle and electrolytes to help hydrate. The nutrition you need to help your body replenish, rebuild, and repair post-workout so you can power on to the next one. Champion your recovery with Core Power. Visit corepower.com to learn more.
You can smell the urine. You can see the saturation of the urine as well. And I'm glad that
Is it just urine?
Well, probably feces as well.
This is the plaintiff, Eileen O'Prey. She says her former landlords are withholding some of her security for dirty rugs when they were soiled during Hurricane Sandy. It's just unbelievable these two would stoop so low and take advantage of a devastating storm by socking it to her. Well, they don't know who they're dealing with because she's not about to let them steal her hard-earned money and is suing the louses for the $658.84 she's still owed. These are the defendants, Paul and Helmut Calabrese. Helmut says the plaintiff tries to portray herself as one way, but in the 27 years they've been renting apartments, she is by far the filthiest. Seriously, the place needed to be condemned. Bacteria in the refrigerator, cat feces and cat litter caking the walls, and urine and vomit everywhere. The woman didn't deserve a penny back because they spent a week cleaning the place. They were accused of sticking it to a tenant. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $1,783.16 for additional cleaning expenses.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Okay.
Eileen O'Prey?
Yes.
You are suing Paul Calabrese and Helmut Calabrese for $658.84, the balance that they withheld on your security deposit. They have a counterclaim against you for $1,783.16 for additional damages that you'd like to claim now. Tell me what happened here.
What happened was we live in Seaside. It's between the ocean and the bay. And after the storm, we all had to leave.
The storm being Hurricane Sandy?
Yes.
Okay.
We left. I wasn't allowed back into the apartment until November 10th. We were bussed in just to get 2 suitcases worth of things. Then, one thing is, when I moved in and my friend came over, Susan, the first thing she said was, they could at least clean the carpets before you moved in. It was a hole in the wall. So anyway.
Did you take pictures?
Not when I moved in, I didn't think of it.
Even though she pointed it out?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just shampooed. It was $750. Dirt cheap. It's all I could afford.
To shampoo?
No, the rent.
Oh. I was going to say, that's not cheap. Okay. All right. So can we get to, you decide you're going to move out, and why are you moving out?
I'm afraid of the storm.
Okay.
I couldn't go back there. The place was filled with mold and sand, and Seaside's a mess.
Okay.
So I had to throw everything out. My bed, clothes, everything.
Okay. Do you know, okay, but so let's get to your lawsuit.
The lawsuit is because of the storm, that carpet had to be replaced anyway. I didn't even think of that. We cleaned the apartment as best we could. There was no running water when we moved out.
Okay, now you withheld 600 and, wait, how much did you withhold from the original security deposit?
We withheld $658.84.
Why?
It was impossible to shampoo this carpet. It was impregnated with cat urine.
Cat urine?
Yes,
okay.
cat urine.
Did she have cats?
She had at least one cat, but I don't know how many cats
How
in
many
total.
cats did you have?
One.
Okay, when had those carpets been installed?
They were actually installed approximately 3 years before she had moved in. They were about 3 years old.
Do you have a picture of the original carpeting?
No,
Did you take pictures when you
I only
switched
took
tenants?
I took pictures of the carpet once it was with the stains.
Okay, do you have pictures from when you switched tenants? Because
When we rented her,
is that a yes or no?
When she signed the lease, she said, the lease says that the apartment was clean and good condition and she inspected everything.
Okay, may I see the lease? And
Yeah.
you still should take pictures
Here.
every time a tenant switches. What kind of damage did the storm do to the carpet?
Well, let's clarify one thing. The water in our buildings never reached our buildings because we were in an elevated part of the island. So we had no water damage whatsoever. There was some wind damage outside of the building to the vinyl, but that was it.
Okay, do you have was there water intrusion from the storm on the carpet?
Susan.
Okay.
People were in and out of
That's not my question. Was there water intrusion from the storm?
The clothes in my dresser were sopping
No,
wet.
on the carpet. Was there damage to the carpet?
I don't know.
Well, that's what you testified. You said after Hurricane Sandy they had to replace this anyway, so I'm asking you.
I don't know if there was water on the carpet,
Okay.
but the streets were full of mud and debris and people in and out of my
Okay, so-
apartment.
So
yes,
you
they
feel
were
that it
destroyed
got
by the
dirtier
storm.
and it wasn't your fault?
Right. I wouldn't say it was dirty to begin
Okay,
with.
but you're saying it was a cat urine problem.
Yes, it was
'Cause
a
there's a
cat.
very unmistakable. I've had cats. I'm a cat lover,
Well-
and there's a very unmistakable scent to the cat urine.
I want you
What
to.
you got there?
Well, what I have here is basically her rug. You can smell the urine. You can see the saturation of the urine as well. And I'm glad that I
Is it
saved
just
them.
urine?
Well, probably feces as well. But, I didn't bring the feces along. But the important part here is that
Foo-foo never
the
went out
cat
of the
urine,
box.
because the problem is, because, the storm did not affect our
Can you
buildings.
stop? Go ahead.
Our buildings were not affected by the storm. Because, Jesus loves me and he takes care of me. I didn't get any water.
Oh, well, Jesus loves the people who were affected by the storm too, I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it.
Well, it's the...
What, did she have to evacuate? Was she in an evacuation zone?
Everyone was evacuated from the whole town for like 3 months. They turned off the electric, the gas. No one was allowed in. So this is the bedroom rug. And because, of the cats that she has, or if it's one cat, I'm not really sure.
Oh, we're good. We're good. Roll it up.
All right, roll back.
Roll it up. Roll
Don't
it
talk
up.
to.
Foo-foo never went out.
Poo-poo went poo-poo all over the carpet, sweetheart. And there's no debating that.
He has.
Listen to me. He has what? He peed all over the carpet.
He
and
feeds
other
all
stuff.
these stray cats. He leaves food out on the other side under this truck.
Who
While I
does?
was away, Paul.
This is urine on your carpet in your
How do
bedroom.
I
What
know?
does that
He
have
didn't
to
let
do?
these
I mean,
cats
come
in
on.
my apartment while this storm was going on because Chris called me up and said, "You better get your cat out of that apartment. Paul is going to get caught sneaking into Seaside to feed it." And I was like, "I have my cat with me. I took my cat with the storm."
What are you saying? Now that I smelled the urine, it's not your urine? It's some other
not
cat. That's not my
Foo-foo.
cat that was in my bedroom. It's other cats that were in my
No.
That's what you're testifying to now?
No.
The landlord let other cats to pee all over the rug inside of your bedroom?
I just can't believe that's foo-foo.
Oh, can I just tell you, I can't believe I had to get on one knee and smell it.
Okay.
And you didn't just fess up. You know if your cat is peeing all over your rug. I mean, you should have a sense of smell. Let me see the pictures. You are now suing for $837 and a cleaning fee. What's that about?
Okay, here, this is a whole set of pictures that I took before I cleaned the apartment.
Who cleaned the apartment in the end? You?
Me and my mom cleaned the apartment.
What is that?
That's a stain on the carpet from cat feces.
Were you guys there?
Susan.
Okay.
Susan is a witness.
Susan, come on up, because I want to hear what you've got to say about that.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So is it possible that you can have a cat that doesn't damage an apartment? What do you think?
It's possible if he's well trained.
Can you train a cat not to claw, not to urinate?
Yeah, you can train a cat
I think
to do
so.
that.
What do you think?
I agree. I think that you could get like a scratching post or some catnip. I don't know.
Really? Okay.
I think it'll work.
What do you think?
I think it is possible. I don't know if you can train a cat, but I think it's possible that it may not scratch a curtain or a couch.
More possible than I could play in the NBA?
It is possible. Muggsy Bogues played in the NBA.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
These are pictures that the landlord takes after she leaves, and it's disgusting. So what is, you're like chicken necking there about how unfair all this is, and I'm trying to figure it out. I don't know why you're doing that, because I have no idea how this could be defensible to leave a place looking like this.
We weren't arguing that the rug had to be cleaned. It's
What about
just
the rest of it? Who's responsible for the toilet being filthy and repulsive?
we had no running
weren't in
water
the
to clean.
toilet.
We cleaned everything with Clorox cleanup and Windex because there was no running water.
How could you have cleaned anything? I'm looking at it. It's disgusting, filthy.
There
The
was
floors are
mold.
filthy. What did you clean?
This apartment was closed up for
That's
over 3
still-
months.
Okay, that's fine.
and
But
it was
you're
wet.
testifying. See, you don't
was wet
understand.
inside.
If you tell me, look, Judge, we couldn't clean there because it was a wreck after the hurricane, then he just testifies that's not true. This one wasn't hurricane affected. Whatever. But when I'm
He's
looking at
wrong,
grease,
though.
the hurricane did not deposit grease on the stove, and you could have cleaned that, and it had nothing to do with not being able to clean that.
I tell
but you didn't clean that, and then you're telling me how unfair it is.
He said there was no water. When she took
You
out
don't need water to
stuff-
clean that.
If it was a normal circumstance, if I was renting an
Everything
apartment and
should have
moving
been torn
out,
up.
All right. Why are you suing for an $837 cleaning fee when you didn't pay an $837 cleaning fee?
Well, when she had the audacity to try to get the $658 back, I said, well, now I think it's time for you to pay me for all the work. It took a week to clean the
Okay,
apartment.
don't look at her. Look at me.
It took a week to clean this apartment to get it into a condition that I could start painting it.
Did you claim hurricane damage to this apartment on your insurance?
No, there was no damage.
The difficulty in the proof, Your Honor, is that by the time you got back in to inspect your apartment, the water was dried up.
But what I'm looking at is garden variety disgusting filth that isn't hurricane damage, okay?
there was no water. I didn't even think of the carpet because it had to be replaced. All of Seaside, every single home.
You know, you signed a lease that said that that everything that you got was all inspected and that everything was in good condition, right? That's what your lease that you signed says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can my brother give you a letter from?
See, we had a
we have a person.
We had periodically.
We have a person that comes in quarterly to spray all the apartments for bugs, and this person who works for this company wrote us a letter, and we had it.
About what, the condition of the apartment?
The way, the problem is you know the way the person keeps the apartment. You understand? Because in other words, the apartment didn't get that way because she was not there for a couple of months.
I service this address on a quarterly basis. It was difficult to service this apartment due to the stench of cat urine that was impregnated into the carpets and floors and the clutter in the apartment. The bathroom was covered with cat litter and cat feces on the bathroom floor that overflowed from the cat litter box found in the bathroom. This was the condition of the apartment every time I serviced the apartment. Gotcha. All right. As for your lawsuit against them for the $658.84, it is very clear to me that this carpet was trashed by your pet and by whatever way you lived there for how long?
About 3 years.
3 years. I find that they have a right to keep the $658.84. The problem that you have is that now they also have a counterclaim against you for more money, which the law in your state allows them to do. All right? I am going to allow you an additional $200 in cleaning fee for a net judgment in favor of the defendants in this case in the amount of $200. That is my judgment.
Both sides, hold on right
Well, the decision goes on the defendant's side, even part of the countersuit. What's your
Very
thought coming out?
disappointed, but at least I
What?
never have to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
They're shysters.
you saw the rug that was in there, and the testimony about. They said that your apartment was one of the filthiest that they've ever dealt with.
It's bull. It wasn't like that.
No?
I'm sure they knew somebody to write that letter to back them up. They're good. What can I tell you?
We weren't able to make it clear enough to the many.
All right. We're out of time here, so you just head right down this way. All right. Thank you very much. So step on in here. Are you satisfied with how this comes out for you?
I'm not satisfied. I don't know how he feels about it.
He's not. How about you? You satisfied?
I'm satisfied because at least the tenant, the former tenant, realizes the damage that she caused, and perhaps her friends would realize it, and perhaps the rest of the country would see what she does to apartments.
Harvey?
You know, you need to know this, that when you file a lawsuit, the other side always has the right to file a countersuit, and you could end up losing a lot of money if things don't go your way, which is something to consider when you file your lawsuit. Think about what's on the line. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just
speaking into the void?
But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The family that vacations together stays together. At least, that was the plan. Except now, the dastardly desk clerk is saying he can't confirm your connecting rooms.
Wait, what?
That's right, ma'am. You have rooms 201 and 709.
No, we cannot be 5 floors away from our kids.
The doors have double locks. They'll be fine.
When you want connecting rooms confirmed before you arrive, it matters where you stay.
Welcome to Hilton. I see your connecting rooms are already confirmed.
Hilton, for this day.
This is the plaintiff, Charmaine Laster. He says he hired the defendant, an accountant, to incorporate the church where he's the pastor. Turns out the defendant's nothing more than a crook who swindled him of his money, did nothing for his church, and he now has to hire someone else. He's suing for $5,000 for a refund and his added costs for hiring someone else. This is the defendant, Raymond. He says he did indeed incorporate the plaintiff's church as instructed, then began work on getting it recognized as a non-profit. He tried reaching the guy for months to get the financial numbers from the church, but the plaintiff never called him back. Now, he's turning around and suing him? He's accused of not adding up.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff, a pastor, hired the defendant to incorporate his church and says the guy turned out to be a swindler. But the defendant says he did the work and the plaintiff was the one who was doing weird things with money. It's the case of in God I trust, but not my accountant.
Thank you, Douglas. Charmaine Laster?
Yes,
you are
ma'am.
suing Raymond. You've asked us not to mention your last name, who was your accountant, for $5,000, $1,200 of it, the amount you paid to him that you want back, and $3,900 in addition for that you paid another CPA to finish what you say he didn't finish.
Correct, ma'am.
Okay. And the statutory maximum, of course, is $5,000. All right, talk to me. Tell me what happened.
I went to Mr. Raymond's office in February. He did some work for me prior on another business matter. So now I started my ministry in 2010.
Okay.
And I was told that I didn't need certain things as like an incorporation or 501c3 right away because I was an outreach ministry. I didn't have a church.
Okay.
So in last year, I got a church building. So I needed these things because donations started to come in, and I just want things to be right.
Right.
You know, I don't want.
So you came to him so that he would incorporate you and start a what's called a 501c3.
Yes.
Which means?
A nonprofit organization with the IRS.
Okay. Which would then give him the benefit of?
Tax exempt status. He wouldn't have to file taxes.
Okay. And so go on. Well, he would have to file taxes.
No,
The church wouldn't have to. Okay. Sign me up. All right.
Me too.
Okay. Go ahead.
So in February, I went to him and I asked him, could he incorporate us and do the 501c3. He said, no problem, I can do it for you. He said, everything is going to be about $1,200. So I paid the defendant the money he asked for, and then time was going by. We're going into April, and I called him, and he told me, he said, for the 501c3, can you give me to after April 17th, because I'm doing a lot of people's taxes, and can you do that? I said, all right, no problem. So I'm busy too, because I pastor a church and I'm traveling different places. So April turned all the way into July.
Okay.
And when I looked around and I was like, it's July already. I haven't received anything, and I was on a deadline because IRS was asking me to produce certain things to them. As far as
they were already on your tail?
Yeah, because they already was asking me questions about about the church, certain things.
Yeah, because you can't be accepting donations without. Okay.
This is what I said. That's what I explained to him in February when I came to him. The defendant never answered no calls of mine, and what I don't understand is that his office, he has a secretary.
I'm sorry. How many phone calls did you place that went unreturned?
Probably about 5.
Okay, between April
and to July.
Okay, so you would call him and he wouldn't even return your call?
No, I would call him and his secretary would take my message and then say that she was going to relay the message. But what I didn't understand is that he has an office where the secretary desk is like right in front of his.
Okay.
So I was like.
Well, when you would call again, would you say, well, he's standing right in front of you? Like, did you ever?
I was saying, well, why are you being the middle person when?
Well, he's not going to answer his own phone. I just want to know from you, when did he finally call you back?
When I asked for my money back in July.
So he calls you back in July, and what happens?
All right, I told the secretary, because everything is through his secretary. So I told the secretary, I said, I want my money back. Can you tell the defendant to get in contact with me because I want my money back. Once she must have told him he wants his money back, now he knows my number. And he's texting me and he's saying, you need to call me. So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. We text back and forth. I called him a crook. I told him that he was trying to steal from God's people, and that wasn't going to happen. And he questioned my character and who I was because I called him a crook.
Do you guys have the texts?
No, I don't. I have a new phone. I don't have the text.
Do you have the text?
Oh, yes.
May I see it?
Yes.
Do you actually have it on the phone?
Yep.
You're telling him, let's not go this route over this little bit of money. Don't make it like you did so much, because he's telling you that he did 85% of the work. Trust me, I know what you did, and I have more proof than you will know. Let's continue to be professional. Cut the church a check today. How much were you asking him to cut the church a check for? The $1,200?
Yes.
And then he answers professional. You call me a liar and talk street to me and are supposed to be a man of God, I will ask you again. I offered you $250. What do you feel you're entitled to? You answer to him, I don't have to prove myself to you. You're the one who didn't follow through. I want a refund. Then he says, I think you should claim in small claims court so we can present our cases. Well, okay. Ask and you shall receive, all right? Because you are not considering any time I spent working on the 501c. What did you do for the 501c3? Because, I mean, it was February when he hired you, and this was already July. Why was it taking so long?
Because he never came to the office. And in those text messages...
Wait, he never came to the office and what?
And gave me the financial information to complete the 501c.
What evidence do you have that you would call him and tell him or make an appointment with him and that he failed to make the appointment?
I had no evidence.
Okay, but you're supposed to be on top of getting it done, so I would like to see now testimony from your secretary, from you, about how you kept scheduling him and he wouldn't come in, or emails from you to him asking him to provide certain financial documents. You can't just sleep for 4 months and then hibernate and then say, oh, you didn't give me something. He doesn't know that.
Your Honor?
Yeah.
I didn't sleep for 4 months. Even in the text and as the...
5 months.
No, not March. I asked him, and like he testified to, I said, can I do this after tax season?
Yeah, no, but that's because now it's April. It's taken 2 months. Yeah, you could take another 2 weeks because you've taken 2 months. But then it still didn't happen. Did you schedule him to bring in financial information?
Yes, I called.
And he failed to appear?
He wouldn't. Yeah, he wouldn't come into the office.
Do you have any phone records to show that he was refusing to go? Because he's the guy who's in hosteling with the IRS breathing down his neck.
Right.
So I'm having trouble believing what you're saying.
Okay. And that's what mystified me when I got this complaint.
I need you, you're a CPA,
Yes.
right? Okay, you have to keep business records, right? You have staff. Right? All right. I want to see your phone records. I want to see the testimony from your staff. I want to see an affidavit from your staff. I want to see something that proves that you scheduled him to come in, or that you called him and you reached out to him and asked him for information, and he's the one who just kind of didn't care. Show me that.
I don't have that.
That's because it didn't happen.
No.
Because there is no way that the man who already paid you in full to have a job done, who needs the job done, and has the IRS breathing down his neck, and then finally gets your attention by saying, give me my money back, you cheat. That is not the guy who was blowing off your appointments. That's just not true.
So the people who are deep into the church, like a pastor or whatnot, are they more trustworthy than the average Joe?
No, they're human beings also.
But if you had to judge as a category, do you think they're more trustworthy, or just like you say, people are people?
People are people. Yeah.
Really? So it doesn't count for anything?
Nope, humans are humans.
Interesting. No faith here. Going inside the courtroom.
There is something that is severely concerning me, okay? You folks end up agreeing that you're going to get a $300 refund from him. Correct?
He told me to take the $300, and if I don't like that, then take him to small claims court.
No. What he says to you, if you don't want to, yes, if you don't want to take the $300, then I'll petition to court to show that I'm entitled to the whole thing. I am trying to be reasonable. Okay, have our refund today. And you think that means take my $300 and sue me? And that it's not a settlement?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
I will have it tomorrow. Who should I make the check payable to, he asks. Who gave you the money? He texts back.
I didn't know if he wanted to make it payable to the church or to him.
Well, exactly. You did, but I was trying to be respectful by asking you. This is a question. It's not supposed to be personal, right? But I've dealt with people like you before, and close all paperwork I've paid for. Did you also give him whatever you'd filled out for the 501c? You didn't do anything on the 501c3.
No, I did. I gave him just the incorporation papers that were.
So what did you do for the 501c3?
The 501c3, Your Honor, is what I prepared for him, and I was waiting for. There's a page 9 in here where he's supposed to come back and give me financial data.
Okay.
He never came and gave me that.
Okay, and you never followed up in 5 months. And now those documents, did you give those to him? When you gave him the $300 check, did you give those to him too? Did you give him this is not a trick question. Did you give him the work you've done so far?
Yes, I gave, no, I didn't give him the 501c3. He says he had somebody else to do it. You have someone else to do it, then okay.
Let me see that.
And this is what I had started on, just waiting for his, him to show up.
What is your testimony? That you would call him and write him, but you have no evidence of it? What is your testimony on how did you leave it? What was, if one piece of paper was missing, what efforts did you make to get that piece of paper in 5 months?
I called him, but like you said, show me phone records. I can't show you phone records.
Now I want just your raw testimony.
Okay.
And you're under oath.
Yes.
Please tell me what you say you did to obtain a missing financial document that was the only thing standing between him and a 501c3 that he'd paid you in full for.
I had my office coordinator call him to say, tell Mr. Lester that we have to come in. He has to come in so I can just fill this out. Plus, I'm just gonna nitpick on the part about it was after tax season that we agreed that I would get back to him. So he never came. We never heard from him.
I don't want to hear anymore how he never went to you.
Called.
There's nothing more to discuss on it. There's nothing you could say that would defend you right now.
Okay.
It's really bad, I think. Okay? Now, and I also don't believe you because I think he's the guy with the incentive to get it done. Okay. So now let's discuss the problem that you have, which is, do you have the check, a copy of the canceled check? All right. You work out with him through the text that there's going to be a refund and how much will you take, otherwise sue me, and you settle. It's called settling on $300, and then you get the check, it's made out to you, and on the memo line it says, final payment as agreed upon, okay? How is this not a settlement that you're bound to? See, there's a concept in the law called accord and satisfaction. And what the phrase accord and satisfaction means is that when the courts want to encourage people to settle out of court. And if you guys talk to each other, as people of business often do, because they need to move on to their next course of business, then it keeps the courthouse from getting clogged. So what we do is we respect that. If somebody says, I'll take $300, okay, as full and final payment, they got to stay by that. They can't turn around and now sue for the remainder of the money or all of the money a second time. And plus the money you paid to the new guys so that the whole thing will be free. So you can't do that. How is it that this does not apply to you and that this isn't a case that's already settled? I mean, you've tied my hands with this.
Yeah,
I would have given you the whole $1,200.
Your Honor, I must admit that I didn't pay attention to the what he wrote down at the bottom.
Okay, that's fine. I don't see how. There's only 3 pieces of writing, but okay. Now tell me how. Just a minute. I've read your text. In your text, it's very clear that you're settling. You're negotiating back and forth, and then you come to an agreement of an amount. That's called a settlement. All right? And based on that, my hands are tied, and my verdict in this case is for the defendant.
The plaintiff is shaking his head as he exits the courtroom after losing this case, but you understand the ruling?
Yes, I understand. And, she was right. Just that, I got to pay more attention to who I hire, and, make sure that I don't get no more crooks and mixing it up with my good deeds that I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm. So what did you think when you heard the judge say she would have given you the whole $1,200 if you hadn't, accord and satisfaction, reached that settlement?
Yeah, well,
it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. He pulled the little slick move, but it's okay.
Okay, this is the way out. Let's see what the accountant has to say about this. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I knew we settled the case. The plaintiff and I came to an agreement, and then I was told by my office manager that he was going to sue for the rest. I thought he was a man of his word, a man of God, and I acted accordingly.
All right. What do you think, Harvey?
Okay, when you basically strike a compromise for a deal that you had already had, that original deal, you should know, just becomes completely unenforceable. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With a new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
This is the plaintiff, Joseph Catalanato. He says he and the defendant have been friends for 10 years, and it pains him to have to sue his one-time buddy, but the guy has done him wrong. The louse borrowed his camera and a rack for his car and isn't returning them because they got into a stupid argument one day. He was in the bathroom doing his business. The defendant opened the door without knocking while he was in the middle of things. He called him an idiot, and well, here they are. He's suing for $280, the value of his unreturned stuff. This is the defendant, Arthur. He says he never even borrowed the plaintiff's camera because it wasn't working at the time he needed it to take pictures of his apartment. He also never borrowed the car rack because the lawnmower he was moving ended up fitting in his car. He doesn't understand why the plaintiff's making all this up, doesn't have a leg to stand on in this court, and he guarantees a victory for himself. He's accused of failing a friendship.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant borrowed his camera and other stuff, but now refuses to return it after an argument that occurred when the defendant barged in when the plaintiff was on the toilet.
Yeah.
But the defendant says he never borrowed the stuff. It's the case of the friendship that went down the crapper.
Joseph Catalanato?
Catalanato.
Oh, we're missing an A. Okay. You are suing Arthur. You've asked to be referred to only by your first name?
Yes.
Okay. For $280, $30 for a car rack he didn't return, and $250 for a 10-year-old camera he didn't return. Tell me what's going on.
Well, he needed a camera to take some pictures of his apartment if people were moving out.
Okay.
And I offered to loan him my camera.
Okay. And how do you two know each other?
We hung out in the McDonald's A bunch of us hang out at McDonald's, so we all know one another from McDonald's.
A bunch of us hang out at a McDonald's. A gang? Okay. Every day?
More or less, yeah.
Okay. How much time do you spend there? Like in the morning? You have breakfast together? Or?
No, mostly in the evening.
Mostly in the evenings?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And is that how you met him?
Well, I've known him for about almost 10 years, somewhere around there.
So you knew him before the McDonald's hangout spot, or you've been hanging around McDonald's for 10 years?
We've been hanging out there a long time, yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So 3 months ago, he asked you for the camera, and you loaned it to him.
Yes.
And then
he needed to take pictures of his apartment that he has in Manhattan.
Okay, and according to you, you also loaned him a car rack? Tell me about that.
Yes, he was going to buy a lawnmower, and he needed to put the lawnmower on the car. So I loaned him my car rack so he could put the lawnmower on the car.
Okay, and now the camera is what? It's a 10-year-old Sure Shot?
Yes.
Okay. And he never returned either one, and do you have any idea why he didn't return it, according to you?
No.
Well, did you guys ever have a fight?
Well, we've had an argument a couple of times. One time we had to go down Jeannie's basement and do some work down there. And he went, and I went. Ann was there. Jean Ziegler was there. And we were looking at the problem down her basement. She had some water coming in. And we couldn't find out the problem. So I had to use her bathroom, which she let me use. I closed the door. Arthur opens the door while I'm going to the bathroom, shuts the light, and closes the door on me in front of the two women.
As a joke, or as an accident?
Is that a joke? No, not by an accident. Not an accident.
No, but I mean, did he think he was being funny?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all right.
Yes. He closed the light and closed the door. What would you say that would be?
I don't know. Okay. And then what?
Well, naturally, when I came out, I had a few choice words for him.
Okay.
And that's what happened at that.
And you guys haven't spoken since?
I haven't bothered with him that much.
Is he still hanging out at McDonald's?
Not as much.
And when he goes to the McDonald's, you guys just don't talk to each other?
No.
Does everybody else know what's going on?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
I needed to borrow his camera to take pictures of a water leak I had in an apartment that I have in Manhattan. And he came into the parking lot at McDonald's, and he was going to give me the camera, but then I said, how do you use it? So he went to try to show me how to use it, and then the shutter wouldn't open up on the camera. So I said, if you're having problems now with the camera, what's it going to be like when I have it? I don't want to give him back a broken camera, so I told him to forget about it. I'm going to go buy a throwaway camera. So I bought a throwaway camera to take pictures.
So you never borrowed the camera?
No.
Why does he say you borrowed the camera?
He's confused.
Okay. Did you borrow the car rack?
No, I never asked him for the car rack.
I didn't ask if you asked him for it. I asked if you took it eventually.
No.
So you never took from him the car rack or the camera? Can you think of any reason why he's saying you did? Because it's not like these are big ticket items, you know? So I'm just wondering, why would he say that you did? You say he's confused?
Well, he's aggravated with me because I yelled at him, and he's...
You yelled at him where?
At a restaurant where we live.
So you tell me what went wrong between you guys then.
I just got aggravated with him, and I started...
For what? For what did you get aggravated with him?
Well, he was supposed to do some carpentry work for me, and that never happened. So I was a little aggravated with that, because he kind of forgot about it. Everything was about him.
Okay, that still would not explain why he's pinning this on you. That would explain why you would be mad at him. You got anything else? Are you here?
So, if somebody barges into your bathroom, well, you're going number 2, and they turn the lights off, is that funny, or would you be pissed?
I'd be pissed.
Even if it's kind of funny, isn't it?
You know, it's kind of funny, but if you're in the middle of the number 2...
I'm getting your point. What do you think?
I think it will be funny to me. It will be funny, it will be hilarious to me because of my age, and because I just gather with people that they usually do that a lot.
I have such a good way that you could get back at the person, but we'll talk later. Going inside the courtroom.
Who's the fellow with you?
My friend.
Does he know anything about this, or he's moral support?
No, he doesn't really know.
Okay, and the lady with you, does she know anything about this?
No.
She says yes, you say no. I mean, I don't mean that he told you about it. I mean, are you a witness?
Oh, no, she wasn't there when this happened between him and I.
You should see the look she's giving you. Come on up. Come on up. Yeah.
I saw him to give him the camera, and when we
did you not know that your witness saw you give him the camera?
Yes. And he used to do, you know what he used to do? He used to do this to us, and he used to give us the finger for no reason. I mean, why do you do that? A super person does that. Every time we came in McDonald's, he would do that behind our back. We never did anything to him. We just didn't talk to him when we went to McDonald's.
Man, my 11-year-old has more maturity than all of you put together. It's the whole thing's like kind of weird.
He took the camera and he took the rack, Your Honor.
Okay, but why does he say that you don't know anything? That you're
No, I was confused. I know what you meant when you said that.
Okay, do you have some affidavits you want me to look at?
This,
The bill, let me just see, I'll
Yeah.
have a look at it.
When my friends asked Arthur, why don't you give Joe back his camera and car racks, he never answered them. He never said, I don't have them. Then you signed it, and who are the other people who signed it?
Laurie signed it. I forget the names that are on there. I'm sorry.
Rose?
Rose signed it, right?
Yes.
Do you know those people?
Yes.
Okay. And they're all saying that when they confronted you about it, the words, he didn't give them to me, never came out of your mouth.
I didn't think it was any of their business, so I didn't say anything.
Okay. What
That's
would be
between
the
me and him.
value of a 10-year-old used Canon SureShot camera? I know that you apparently either got a quote or bought a new camera, but that's not the value you get in court, because if you lost something worth $10, you don't get to have somebody pay you $400. And so the value of that item is what can you sell it for? You understand?
I have no idea.
Oh, well, I know. I'm going to make one up now. Because it's not, you must understand that a 10-year-old Canon SureShot has 10-year-old technology, and it's not worth a whole lot. As for the car rack, how do you get the value of it?
That's what I paid for it.
Okay.
Well, I bought a new one since that's $30.
Okay. And how old was the car rack?
It was old. It was about 8 years old.
Okay. I think he borrowed those things. But I don't think they have the value that you're asking. I'm going to order you to pay him $20 for the camera and $20 for the car rack. Verdict for the plaintiff, $40.
Well, the judge rules that the defendant did indeed borrow the camera and the car rack and didn't return them. So what's your feeling coming out of the courtroom now?
Well, she's totally wrong.
You never did borrow those
No,
things? You still
I
say?
never did.
Mm-hmm. Why would he say you did then?
He's confused.
What about his story about you opening the door on him in the bathroom? What about that story?
Yeah, that's true.
You did do that?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that?
I was aggravated with him.
Oh, you did that to embarrass him?
Yeah, just as a joke.
Would you like somebody to do that to you?
It was funny at the time.
All right. Right down that way. Oh, that's good enough. All right. All right, so come on in here. Step on in closer to me. You stand right next to him, okay? So he said he thought it was funny when he did that. Didn't you think it was funny?
No.
You still see him at McDonald's?
He says he doesn't come in there when I'm there, so.
Really?
When I'm there, I don't see him.
He's not part of the group anymore?
Well, they don't bother him as much as they used to.
So where are you going tonight?
Where are we going tonight?
No,
McDonald's?
No.
No.
Not tonight.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, a lot of people think that you get replacement value when you win a lawsuit like this. The fact is what you get is the reasonable market value at the time of the loss. That's why, in this case, the plaintiff ended up winning, but only winning $40.